And here we are, live for a 1952D roll reveal. This is reveal number 575. It was originally scheduled for a week ago, and we're finally getting to it here. And this is the roll itself. I've not really opened it up. I mean, I've taken a peek inside to be sure that the coins inside were in relatively nice condition. That's basically all I did. I've not looked at any of them for varieties. Of course, this is going to be one of the difficult square rolls. There we go. This lip right in here likes to curl inward and hold the coins into the tube. I don't like square tubes. Primarily because they're difficult to get in and out of boxes. Other than that, they're not that big of a deal. Hello, Farm Dog. There's Eric. Stan Horn, good evening, folks. Okay, here we are, 52D ready and ready to go. Surag is our first assigned coin. Let's see what we have. Oh, that's nice. Nice little south RPM there. You see it right inside the upper part of the D. There's an extra horizontal line up there. Just a little bit, maybe making up a lower curve right down here on the bottom. But this right here is likely definitely an RPM. Also got something going on up in the digits of the date. Something going on there on the bottom of the 5. Right in this area right here. I don't know what that is. It looks like substantial doubling, but not sure what it is. But this being the first coin in the roll, we'll just keep looking at other coins. See what we end up with as we go along. Alright, nice earlier dice state on this one too. I really like the dice state on this coin. If it follows through like that through the remainder of the roll, we should have no trouble picking anything out that there is in the roll, as the earlier dice states are generally the easiest ones to see, even the most minor of doubling, which is why doubling on proofs tends to show up more than doubling on mint state coins, because the proofs, the dies are retired before they have a chance to get old. So not much wear at all. In fact, there shouldn't be much of any wear on proof dies. This second coin here for Farm Dog. Let's see what Farm Dog gets out of this. That's very interesting. There's something going on. Okay, the first thing I'm actually seeing on this is a possibility of a double die in the 9-5, the lower 9, lower 5 of the date. It looks like it could continue on through to the 2, which would be a first for me. But then there's a dot in the lower part of the mint mark inside. It looks like it could have something to do with some form of doubling, but it could be a small die chip as well. We'll just have to take a much better look at it later to see what we see in there for sure. We got nothing else on the obverse here. Let's check the reverse real quick. See what we come up with on this reverse. Yeah, we've got nothing there. But Farm Dog still could possibly have a double die here, which would be a first. And a Tick Star. I'm going to flip his name around because I am just a bit on the OCD side. And everything has to be right. There we go. And for Tick Star, we got coin number 3 in the roll. Here is coin number 3. There is another, I think that's another example of the RPM we found on the first coin in the roll. Let's see. Same markers or no? Not the same markers. Not the same mark. I'm going to have to remember that die scratch running through the 5 and then one between the 5 and the 2 on this die. Plus it doesn't have the doubled lower serif. So that makes this one a different RPM altogether. Let's get it focused back in here. So we've got that doubled upper and lower serif. It appears that could be the damage on the bottom of the mint mark there too. But that bit on the inside of the upper part of the mint mark definitely looks like it could represent another RPM. Keep taking a gander around the rest of the coin here. Got nothing on the obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse now. And NOI, nothing of interest. Okay. Well, that's Techstar. Oh, the upper inside is on most of that mint mark type. Okay. Well, I'm going to put them all in one pile then. I'm going to keep taking a look and see what we end up with here. If we end up with a whole bunch of different dies that have the same mark, see, that's got it too. This is yet again a different mint mark, or a different die. So yeah, this is the small mint mark style, or the, I like to call it the flattened mint mark. It's pretty common to 1952, although there is a different mint mark that comes available on 1952D. So this one's going to stand. It's another one with that little bit of doubling on the inside of the mint mark. I don't look at 52Ds all that often, and because of that, I'm not very well practiced on them. Yep, there's another one. So we're going to discount that little thing. That's probably part of the punch. And so that negates 3 out of the 4 coins we've already seen as having a likely possibility of being a doubled mint mark. RPM. I'll take those back out. So 1, 3, 4, and 5 are all normal. Number 2 still appears to have maybe some doubling around the date. Next coin here, this one's for Eric. Got the same thing going on with the mint mark. Little bits of what appear to be apparent doubling on the date. Right side of the 1, the outside of the 9 and the 5. So I think I might be down to allowing that to pass as normal as well. 52D is always difficult. Just got to be hard to get along with. Okay. One for Eric. And we'll keep moving along. Coin number 7. This one's for Wanda. And Wanda has well, this one's got a little bump to the southwest of the mint mark. That could be a very, very mild second punching. 52D full of bluegills. That's right. This one is interesting looking, but not interesting enough. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the reverse and see if we picked up anything there. And nothing. I don't see anything here. So we're going to move on to the next coin. Yes, you did, Wanda. Hello. Good evening, my lady. Taco John, coin number 8 now. And Taco John. A little tiny bit of doubling on the date that I guess is part of a master die doubling. I haven't really studied these all that closely as far as the master die doubling things are concerned because, well, 1952D tends to have a lot of little weird things that happen very commonly on them. And it kind of takes away from my attention span of actually studying the issue. Dennis, I cannot send invoices to your PayPal account. I can send invoices to your email, and you can click the link to pay using your PayPal account, but they go to your email, not to your PayPal. I do not send PayPal invoices. Let's see. But I can send you I can send you all of the invoices again. I've sent them a few times. It has been probably 6 months, a little more than 6 months since I have sent a PayPal invoice. I don't use PayPal anymore for invoicing. And that would go for anyone who has made any purchases from me. My email address is cd@coppercoins.com. That's cd@coppercoins.com. If you're questioning whether you have an invoice, or if you are questioning whether I have sent an invoice, you can send me an email, and we can get it straightened out there. But all I can do is email you a link to the invoice or email the invoice to you again. You probably having them go in a junk folder or a spam folder, and probably need to work on trying to whitelist my email address so that you can receive invoices from me. This has been an ongoing problem since I left invoicing at PayPal, when basically I was pushed out of being able to send PayPal invoices because of the industry I work in. Evidently, they are squashing down on people who send invoices for coins because evidently that has some connection in their mind to money laundering and all the other stuff that attorneys tend to shy away from the coin people. And so I don't send invoices through PayPal, whether successful or not. I just don't do it. Here's the other mint mark style for 1952D. This one's taller, and it doesn't look like it's been squished top to bottom. You'll notice on the next coin we pull of the other style, you'll see the difference. The D looks more like a normal, quote unquote, normal D on this one. It's tall, and the top and bottom are not necessarily edged straight. Here's coin number 13. This one goes to Wanda. And this one goes back to our more common style. You can see it looks like it's been squashed, and the top of it is very straight. That's the smaller mint mark, or the short mint mark, or the one I call it the squashed mint mark. Yeah, and for anyone who's purchased something from me, if you don't get an invoice, it means that it didn't go to where you think it went. But I send invoices to everyone at every sale. So if you don't see it, we need to get into communication about how you're going to be able to find it. Because I can't make it go somewhere else. My invoices will not show up in your PayPal account. There's one for Stan. Now, number 16, Taco John. In fact, here probably tomorrow, or it'll be on Wednesday, I'll go through my invoicing, match them up with PayPal payments. If you pay me through PayPal, I can go back and manually mark the invoices having been paid. I can do that. That's not a problem. If you prefer to securely use a credit card or debit card when you make your payment to me, skip PayPal altogether. You can go into the email that I send you that shows you that you have an invoice, click on the invoice link, and you can pay using a credit card directly without going through PayPal. But if you prefer to use a PayPal account, you can certainly do that. There's no penalty, there's no charge for doing that. It's just that I have to go in and manually find your payment and link it to the invoice by recording a payment to the invoice. I have gone to where I am independent from PayPal and don't count on PayPal for anything because of their lapse in judgment and how they completely hosed how I do business for a lengthy period of time. Hello, Dan. Anybody can buy coins, Dan. Anybody can buy coins in this particular style of hunt. This is a reveal hunt. Everyone has made purchases of the coins over here, and Jordan has made the purchase of this particular coin as we're going through this roll. And if I find any die varieties on there, I let you know that you've got them. Then when I send the coins to Florida for processing, the flip insert is changed before the coin is mailed to you. That way you know what you've got when you get it. And if your coin happens to be one that I need to photograph for the Copper Coins website, we photograph it, and then your coin becomes what's known as a plate coin, a coin that's been used on the website. And if it happens to be new, we annotate that it's a new die, new listing. Your name goes on the website to credit for the coin that was photographed for that particular set of photos. And you become a part of the history of the website coppercoins.com, which is very quickly becoming the most used Lincoln Cent die variety catalog website on the planet. Originally started in 1999 as a website that was going to journal and catalog every copper variety in United States coins, and turned out that the others who were to be involved in that part of it were not able to continue processing the website after a period of time, so I continued with the Lincoln Cents, and it has now become pretty much a Lincoln Cent exclusive website. Yes, sir. As Otis says here, these are purchased, These particular coins and these rolls are purchased on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We just finished a show about an hour ago. Yet we do have auctions where you can purchase rolls of coins. You can purchase coins, beautiful coins, die varieties, lots of different stuff comes up for sale. Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 23 hours from now. Get registered prior to that sale and you will be able to participate in that sale. You think I've been tops for a while, Wanda? Now, is that an opinionated statement or is that a scientific fact? Because if it's a scientific fact, I want to know where that science comes from because I want to be able to report it. I can't say Copper Coins is number one because I don't know the statistics on the other websites that do roughly the same thing. A little of both. Little fact, little opinion. I like the opinion part of it. So you did catch another one of the reveals. Now you just got to be able to catch the show where we sell the reveals. It only lasts about 15 minutes usually, and it runs right at 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday. And then the auction follows on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Then once in a while we'll have a special show. I'll have a chit-chat session. I'll have something where we do some education. I'll do a roll dig, which is where I just come on with a roll and just start looking through a roll and talking and telling you guys what I'm seeing and what's going on with it and all that. There's a little bit of a die crack on the bottom of the 9 there. Shows that we have a slightly later die state coin. You can tell because you got a lot of flow marks, a lot of little flow marks and little dots and pickles and stuff like that all throughout the field. Little feathering on the outside edges of the lettering shows this to be a mid-die state. Early die state doesn't have any flow lines, no feathering. And by the time you get to late die state, those flow lines and feathering become very, very intense. Like very long, well organized, well drawn out. I appreciate that, Dan. Thank you very much. We try the best we can to be the no BS source of good Lincolnson information. This one is a bit on the spotty side. Just a bit on the spotty side. That one goes to Mickey. Sorry about that, Mr. Mickey. He didn't show up to the reveal show, so he may be asleep today. I don't know. What's going on? One thing I hope to do in the future, in the near future, hopefully, is start working on redeveloping Copper Coins into a much easier to use website, because we may have the information out there, but the navigation is certainly not easy. And that's because, well, I developed the website nearly 22 years ago. Good gosh, has it been that long? It's been about 20 years since I put up the database-driven version of Copper Coins, which is Copper Coins 2.0. We are still in Copper Coins 2, working on Copper Coins 3. Copper Coins 3 was supposed to have been released at the beginning of this year, at the beginning of 2023. That did not happen because I am still having trouble finding a team of people who can help me do the development. I did the development of the original website. That one is an RPM right there, for sure. So that's the second one of those at least that we've seen, maybe the third. Eric will go back and pick all these out during processing stage. Now, to let you know again, just to be sure everyone is very clear on this, and I'm sure most of the people who've been involved in this in quite a while, like Malcolm, will be able to understand that I go through these rolls, and I go through them by the week. And at the end of the week, I box them all up, and I ship them to Florida. Eric takes them in Florida, goes through every single coin, looks at every single coin again to be sure that we haven't lost or missed anything. And then he goes through, identifies, changes, flip inserts, and does whatever needs to be done, then bundles them up and then mails them to you. So it can take up to 3 weeks from the time you purchase coins in a roll to the time you actually see the coins in hand. Need to find quarter, nickel, and dime sites like copper coins? Well, that may or may not happen within our lifetime. I have begun the process of cleansing the code for copper coins to the extent that it could be applied to any coin series. And it's just a matter of finding people to take those positions and run with them as the U.S. coin variety person for, say, Jefferson nickels or Buffalo nickels or Barber dimes or Standing Liberty quarters. Take that section and run with that section as the chief attributor of that section, where they can do their own photography, upload their own photography, create their own die numbers, and run their own website with the copper coins code doing all the job behind it. There's a lot of things I would love to be doing with copper coins. I've just never found programmers I could count on who understand that there's no money involved in this until it's finished. And when it's finished, they stand to gain quite a substantial lump of cash, but not until the project is finished. I'd love to find those people, get moving on this project in full steam, and get them started and finished. A lot more intense than you thought, and you're hooked. That doesn't take much. That wasn't me. That was the fact that the coins are so interesting when you get them under a microscope. There's so many different things you can find, so many different things to see. That had nothing to do with me. I'm just doing the best I can to share the information and get the wealth of information out there to other people so that everyone can enjoy doing this. The coins kind of speak for themselves. I do nothing where it comes to the coins themselves. We just find them and list them. Whatever's out there. You might hear and might understand through listening that, some of the folks here refer to me as the Bob Ross of coins. It's the kind of matter-of-fact, but yet friendly and soft way I bring across to you all the information I can think of while I'm going through it. It's just something I love to do. I definitely enjoy it. I use something other to display the HTML, Dennis. Every website uses HTML to display what goes on screen. HTML and something called cascading style sheets, or CSS. That's what's used to display what you want to see. But something else goes on underneath to actually access data, to bring the data forward, to dynamically formulate the data into something you want to see. And for me, that's called PHP. And PHP is a language called, it's initially called Pre-Hypertext Processor. And PHP is now way up there in versions. It's like on 7 or 8 now. And people have been using it for a long time. It's a very good language to use. It is a server-side processing language. So in order to get it to think, you have to return to the server and come back. Whereas JavaScript is a browser-side language. The problem with using JavaScript to create a website is that a lot of browsers still block JavaScript because of cookies and because of malware and the things associated with malware making pop-ups on your screen automatically show up. That's all JavaScript that does that. And when people block JavaScript, then your website becomes blocked. So we use PHP instead. JavaScript for certain things, like the menu on the website is JavaScript driven. But then our database is tables that use SQL. That's structured query language. And MySQL is a version of structured query language that is an open source, relatively easy to use ISIAM style database. And you build tables in your database, you place records of information in there, and then you can query those records of information specifically to display on screen. And that's how Copper Coins works. There's another RPM. It's got 2 upper serifs. That's a pretty one. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Got a little doubling on the lower serif too. Just a little. But it is there. Alright. Nice, nice, nice. So we're getting some stuff. This one's for Parvas. We're up to coin number 41. Now we're doing coin 42. As soon as I get finished with this one, I will move on to the next roll. The next one's going to be a 1953D. You'll have to go out and look for the other show pertinent to the 1953D roll. It will be reveal number 576. We're going to take care of that one this evening. Then I'm going to break it down and shut down and finish watching the Monday Night Football game. Then I'm going to go to bed and get up in the morning and start working on our auction for tomorrow evening. I should have a list emailed out to everyone who's registered by noon or so. Got a lot of old 25 coin rolls. We're going to have wheat, BU wheat 25 coin rolls. We're going to have BU memorial rolls. There will be some mystery boxes and mystery lots, grab bag lots. Lots of interesting stuff. For those who know and know already and have been buying from me for quite a while, already understand I do not search through anything I buy and sell. I buy it from reliable sources that are generally sources that do not look through any of the stuff they buy. I repackage it into lots and sell it on my auctions and on my website. I do not search through any of it. That's your job. Don't want to do your job for you. I have a hard enough time just getting everything in here, separating it and selling it. I honestly don't have time to be searching stuff. No time. All these little flecks that you see on here, that's not skin, that's wax from the paper. I'm sorry, from the tube that these were in. Comes right off the coins. Not even going to bother trying to remove it here. You guys can do it once you get the coins home, but I would recommend doing it within the first year or two, simply because if you leave them in long-term storage with that waxy plastic on them, they will eventually start to cloud in those areas and start to change color just a little bit. Like that little guy right there. I'll prove it to you. Hang on. Let me grab a dry Q-tip. Just a plain dry Q-tip. And look at this. There it goes. Lift it right off of there. Now there's a hair right up here on the coin. You can see it. I just took that off of there. So that stuff just comes directly off the coin. I don't bother taking it off because I'd spend all evening doing that instead of looking at the coins. But once you get the coins, you can easily remove that stuff. Yep. Got a name to flip around. Put it in there upside down. There we go. Now, Stan. Stan finds... it's a normal coin, it looks like. Let's see here. A little speck of plastic on there. Nothing out of the ordinary. Are we? We are. How is that possible? We are short a coin. 48, Coins and Ghouls. Coins and Ghouls is going to get beautiful red coin. And, wow, that's a nice RPM right there. Very nice RPM with 2 upper serifs. Repunched mint mark. Doubled upper serif. Craving KFC. Oof. I don't know if I could do KFC tonight. I made chicken stir fry. I'll tell you what. Eric, I'll make this up to you. I'm going to give this one to Malcolm. This will be coin number 50 in the roll. And it is, it's a normal coin. Got nothing there. Unfortunately, Malcolm's going to get that coin. And put the empty holder in there to show Eric it was not there to begin with. I got doubled mint marks in this. I'm not sure exactly how many, because by the time I started finding them, I'd already been including them as normal coins. So Eric will go through and he will find what's going on with these and be able to straighten all this out for everybody. But this reveal is done. We're getting ready to move on to number 576. And 576 will be a 1953 D-roll. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes and I'll be back and start the next one. I'll talk to you guys then. Please come back to reveal number 576 on the channel to watch that one live here in about 10 minutes. See you then.